Hey, welcome back. So this is day 2 of our 10-day relationship transformation. Yesterday, we talked about acceptance and desire, how it's okay to really accept where you are right now and have a longing for deeper growth, deeper connection. Both of those things can exist together, and that's a really key starting point. So from there, we're moving into day 2, which is all about how you can actually see conflict as an opportunity. So this is a reframe that you may have already played with a little bit, but we're going to really dig into it so that you can see how expansive and incredible this way of thinking and this approach can actually be. So I want you to remember the last time that you went through an intense challenge in a relationship. What was it like? What were your trepidations going into it? All of the fears, all of the uncertainty and everything probably wasn't super comfortable. But where did you land on the other side of that? Once you came through it, did you have that sense of like, oh wow, we're actually stronger now and we're in a deeper place than we ever could have been if we hadn't opened up? And a big part of that is because when we're going through conflict, we end up being more vulnerable. Now, that doesn't always happen, and sometimes it can happen in kind of ugly and uncomfortable ways. But when it does, when we really start opening up, like, here's my deep fear here, here's what I really think would happen if I lost you. And this is what I really want. And here's the thing that I felt like I had to hide from you, or I didn't know how to be this part of myself around you, or I really need you to know that that thing that you do actually makes me uncomfortable. It actually maybe even scares me. And so once you opened up into that, and maybe it felt like opening Pandora's box, some like really intense shit came out of it and you felt like you couldn't stuff it back in and it was really hard. But after all of that, you also had all of the good things. You drew from the strength, your communication got deeper. You realized that you could be more fully yourself, and like your authentic being came more fully into the relationship. So that's actually kind of incredible. And we're kind of lucky that we get to do this, that we have people in our lives who are willing to show up for the hard shit, that we get to be more of ourselves with each other and take the relationship even deeper than it ever could have been. What often happens when no conflict is happening, if we're conflict avoidant, if things are just fine, we kind of stagnate. We might even start to feel stuck. We can feel bored in the relationship. And I'm not saying that, you should just stir up drama so that you never have to be bored. Honestly, it's okay for us to have periods of rest. And that kind of intimacy can be really wonderful too. But we don't want to only have that. We also want to allow ourselves to fully bring our own truths and our own needs into our relationships. And this is true of romantic relationships, it's true of friendships, family relationships, work colleagues, really anywhere where you're showing up and interacting with other humans, or even within yourself. If you just never want to dig into, the intensity that's going on between two different parts of you, then you're just not going to get to reap the benefits of going through it and going on the adventure and actually exploring together. So if you're able to start to think of this in a new way, like, oh my God, we get to go on an adventure together. We get to do something exciting together. We actually could love this journey. This could be one of the best things that's ever happened to us. Like, that's a whole new way of thinking and being and existing together. It's a huge step into the unknown. It allows space for play, for mystery, for excitement, for wonder. And all of those things we want more of in our lives, in our connections, and in the world in general. Those are all really beautiful, incredible things. So what if you love getting to know more about each other? More comes out when we allow space for conflict Often, we're trying so hard to avoid the discomfort, the potential pain, or maybe even the loss that we think would happen if we asked for what we really needed. And so there is that potential. There's always that potential when we're vulnerable. Some challenging, difficult things can happen, and we might go through a lot of uncertainty. But by taking that risk, we open up this space for what more is possible, what more could be there. And we could actually have a huge explosion of incredible shit. Like, who doesn't want that? Why would you spend your entire life staying away from the real magic and the real grit of the depth of this connection with a person who you really genuinely care about? So imagine, what if it doesn't have to be hard and painful? What if it actually gets to be an incredible journey together? Like, you're going out, you're exploring a dark cave. You don't know what you're going to find. You don't know where you're going to end up. And you're in it together. You're showing up fully. You're inviting this person in your life to show up more fully. And you're saying, yes, it's okay that we don't know where we are. And it's okay that we're not sure exactly where to go next. And we're going to invite some of this messiness, just like dumping out all of the drawers so that we can reorganize and we can rediscover and we can reconnect and we can move into something magical. Like, yeah, what if? I just get so excited thinking about this. Like, honestly, once you really have this reframe, you get to choose, when am I ready to move into conflict? When do I feel resourced to know that I can fully support myself and I can hold space for whatever intensity comes up? I know how to ask for help, and I know that I will survive this. No matter what happens, this is going to be for my own growth and benefit. Going through this with someone else also serves me. So, yeah, I want you to think about how lucky you are to get to be in this life, in this world, with this amazing person who's willing to go through the shit with you and willing to say, I don't know what's going to happen, but let's find out. Let's discover. Let's see more of ourselves. Let's learn more about each other. And let's create this space for expansion. So I want you to take a moment to really let this just simmer and marinate. And the practice that I invite you to work with today is a few journaling prompts. So you could set a timer for 10 minutes for each of these. You could choose one and just spend an hour with it and really dive in. But here are the questions. Number 1, what was a conflict in your connection that led to growth? Number 2, where do you feel stuck or stagnant in this relationship? And number 3, how would it change your experience of conflict to approach it as a magical adventure? So as you go into this journaling, as you sit with these ideas, remember, this is an invitation. You don't have to force yourself to pretend that this is fun for you. And let's be real, not every moment is going to be fun. But that's just as true when you go and ride a roller coaster. And it's just as true when you go on a solo trip around the world. Any big, scary thing that you do in your life is going to have its challenges. It's going to have its moments of thrill and absolute wonder. And it's going to help you grow. You're going to see more of who you are, bring that out into the world, and your radiance is gonna show up, because that's the invitation, is to say, yeah, this is what I've been doing, this is where we've been, and I'm going to be more real. I'm going to be more true. I'm going to invite more honesty and depth here. And I'm here for it, whatever happens. All right, thank you so much for coming to day 2. I'll be back tomorrow with day 3. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss any of this, you can go to natsmith.substack.com. And that's where you can sign up for my email list. So you'll receive these emails every single day. So we have 8 more days after this of relationship transformation. So I would love to know how this is going for you so far. You can leave a comment, you can send me a message, and I hope that you're having an amazing day. Thanks so much.